temperature, brought to you by Planet Fitness. Children First on News Channel 6 is sponsored by Bridgestone.
It's time to find that umbrella and dust it off because you're going to need it in the week ahead. I'll have all the details for you coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, bells are ringing as many gather in shock and sadness with the world reacting to the death of Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff. We have local reaction from the Catholic Church. Plus, one man is in critical condition after a weekend shooting. The investigation in Richmond County continues what we know so far and what led to the suspect's arrest. Also, reviewing the City of Augusta's charter, hear from the committee's new chairperson and the ground rules now in place. As your News at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you so much for joining us. An Edgefield man remains in critical condition after a shooting in downtown Augusta over the weekend. Deputies charged Damon Cole and Destiny Reeves in that shooting that happened early Saturday morning on Broad Street. Both are now facing aggravated assault and other charges. Graham Lee joins us live from Broad Street now. And Graham, you have information about the victim in this case.
Well, that's correct, Jenny. The victim in this case is 61-year-old Tracy Waddle. He was shot in the head around 2 o'clock early Friday morning after a dispute that happened right here in front of the Loft Bar. Now, investigators say the two suspects involved, as you mentioned, Damon Cole and Destiny Reeves, they worked together to lure Waddle to a nearby car. They say Reeves and Cole were planning to rob Waddle, but as he approached the car, that's when Cole opened fire. Now, Sheriff Eugene Brantley, since he took office earlier this year, he's installed a downtown safety plan, and he credits that safety plan that led to quick arrests of Cole and Reeves. The plan calls for 2 deputies to be at both ends of Broad Street on weekend nights, and Augustans say that added police presence is critical with downtown nighttime activities.
I've noticed that there's a lot more live entertainment, foot traffic. There's more entertainment and activity on the streets than there once was. You know, I think that unfortunate occurrence just really is an opportunity for all of us Augustans just to really have each other's back.
The Sheriff's Office says this remains an active and ongoing investigation. In the meantime, Waddle remains in the hospital in critical condition. His family has set up a GoFundMe account to get ready for the potential heavy medical costs involved for everything that's happened this weekend. And we'll have a link to that fundraiser on our website, WJBF.com. Live in Augusta, Graham Lee, WJBF, Michelle 6.
All right, Graham, thank you for that report. The ground rules have been set for changing Augusta's founding document, the Charter Review Committee getting down to business, electing officers and adopting bylaws. The committee agreeing 6 votes will be the number needed to recommend changes to the charter. Some argue for 8 votes, since changes could be controversial, but not the new chairperson.
I personally do not have any concerns. It's a very diverse group of people, and they were selected faithfully and by their commissioners. And I'm just going to place my trust in the American system of doing things. The majority rules.
The committee also voted to turn off all cell phones during meetings to prevent members from getting text messages, something Augusta commissioners do not do. Turning now to the weather with meteorologist Sherry Sheely. What a gorgeous Easter Sunday we had.
Absolutely. It was beautiful, and pretty much today has been a carbon copy of that. Another day with a mix of sun and clouds, a little light breeze, but overall a nice warm day. And we could see that on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam in Waynesboro. Got a little bit of cloud cover there, a little bit of breeze blowing the flags, but overall a beautiful snapshot. And so we can look at our satellite and radar. You can see we have those clouds.
Turning now to the weather with meteorologist Sherry Sheely. What a gorgeous Easter Sunday we had.
Absolutely. It was beautiful, and pretty much today has been a carbon copy of that. Another day with a mix of sun and clouds, a little light breeze, but overall a nice warm day. And we could see see that on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam in Waynesboro. Got a little bit of cloud cover there, a little bit of breeze blowing the flags, but overall a beautiful snapshot. And so we can look at our satellite and radar. You can see we have those clouds kind of filtering in, so not completely overcast, but kind of mixing in there, so we get a little bit of sunshine. And despite that cloud cover, temperatures are still on the warm side. How about 85 degrees here in Augusta? Same in Aiken, same in Louisville, so lots of 85s there. 84 in Barmel, 83 in Bamberg and Saluda, so all well above average. Current winds coming from the southwest at about 9 miles per hour in Augusta and 14 in Aiken, so getting a little windy in Aiken County there. So for the next couple of hours, we'll see those winds stay up about 15-mile-per-hour wind gusts around 5 o'clock and then dying down as we get into the overnight hours. So what you can expect, the warmth will continue throughout the evening hours. The clouds might pick up a little bit around mostly cloudy skies around 7 o'clock and staying in the 80s until 9 o'clock this evening. So warm day today. Those warm days are going to stay with us for the next several days, but we do have some changes coming to the forecast. I'll have all the details on what you can expect in the week ahead coming up. Jenny?
Sherry, thank you. Well, as you know, we woke up this morning to the news that Pope Francis had died. Maria, thank you for that live report. Wagner's fire coverage could fall apart tomorrow if town leaders don't act. The fire board chair met with the mayor Friday. He offered a 10-year lease to keep using the fire station and gear. That would let the district keep its contract with Aiken County. Now the board is holding an emergency meeting this evening, asking the mayor and council to work out a deal.
Our greatest fear is that something's going to happen and we go from a 10-minute response time to these folks who are trying to step up and do the best they can with what they have to a 25-minute response time, which I'm hoping doesn't result in serious injury or loss of life.
The meeting is tonight at 6 o'clock at the Wagner Fire Station. Construction on a new behavioral health center at Wellstar Children's Hospital of Georgia is underway. PGA Tour golfer Kevin Kisner and his wife Brittany Kisner have committed more than $5 million to establish a center for pediatric development. The behavioral health and well-being, which will bear the name. The couple was on hand today to swing the first hammer.
We're excited, like Brittany said, to see phase 3 under construction and a home for our center, and it's been a great partnership with Wellstar and all the staff here at the hospital.
Real lack of services in our area. And we're based in South Carolina, but our foundation serves the whole CSRA. And this children's hospital is the hub, right? It serves children from all over. And you want a healthy, thriving children's hospital if you're a parent.
Construction is expected to be complete sometime next year. Tomorrow on Jenny, you've heard of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but did you know we have a nonprofit here in the CSRA with a similar mission? It's the Georgia Lina Outdoor Dream Foundation. The leaders of the local chapter know firsthand the healing power of connecting sick kids with nature. Vice President Eve Gallo had leukemia as a teenager. She and her family were granted a special hunting and fishing adventure, which was life-changing for her. The foundation's second annual fundraiser, Plays for Kids, is coming up Sunday, May 4th.
Since we are part of the headquarters in Anderson, we're able to have kids from all around the country come to us in the CSRA or send our CSRA kids to somewhere else.
We'll be starting the day off at about 11 o'clock. We're going to come in. We're going to get everybody signed up. There's what they call a flurry as part of the fundraiser. So that's just two people seeing how fast they can reload, and the clay birds just come out from all different angles. We're going to have some speaking. Eve will be there. Some of the other children that have been positively impacted by the Outdoor Dream Foundation.
More about the Outdoor Dream Foundation and its mission to connect children fighting chronic or terminal illnesses with the healing power of nature. Plus, meet two cast members from the Musical Theater Workshop's new show, Big Fish, tomorrow at 12:30 on Jenny. Still to come, early predictions for this year's hurricane season and a full recap of race day at the...
And we continue with the above-average temperatures, but the thing that's changing in the week ahead, our rain chances are on the rise. I'll have all the details for you coming up.
Welcome back, everyone. It was an exciting weekend in the world of NASCAR. Jesse Love thought he had conquered the rock, but a post-race disqualification changed everything. Mike Lacey has the recap of the race day at Rockingham.
Since St. Jesse Love's mood changed dramatically on Saturday evening. Initially, he was all smiles after winning the Xfinity Series race at The Rock. Later, however, he'd be very, very upset after his car failed the post-race inspection. Show you how it all went down in Rockingham. It was a packed house for NASCAR's return, and they had to like this dramatic finish. Start, though, from the beginning. Nick Sanchez, looking good early on, took the lead going from the inside. After battling some caution flags, he would take stage 1. Things would pick up after a restart on lap 71. He goes stage 2 now underway, and this stage would belong to a first-time winner. It's Dean Thompson. First stage victory of his career. Gotta like that. Final stage now. 11 laps to go off the restart. Christian Eckes runs out of fuel. It created a big old pile behind him. Red flag comes out. Justin Allgaier, Sanchez both involved. Sanchez be done for the evening. 3 laps to go. Crash bringing out another red flag. Matt DiBenedetto, Sam Mayer, Chris Wright, all involved. All 3 done for the evening. The race then goes to overtime. 2 laps to go in overtime. Off the restart. Love passing Sammy Smith on the inside. He takes the lead. He then takes the race. However, I told you about that post-race disqualification. Therefore, it was Smith who was declared the winner. Crazy finish there at Rockingham. NASCAR and the Xfinity Series. Back to it next week when they go to Talladega.
At the Talladega Speedway in Lincoln, Alabama, where NASCAR returns this weekend, our coverage starts Saturday. The pre-race action is on the CW6 at 3:30. It all starts with the NASCAR countdown, followed by the Xfinity Series race. Jerry has your full forecast when News Channel 6 at 4 returns.
Weather headlines on WJBF News Channel 6. Brought to you by Hickson Roofing. If your roof needs fixing, call Mr. Hickson.
The CSRA has always been my home. People know my law firm for work in the community as well as for our life-changing results. That's local experience you can count on. Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy.
Which automaker? You pay what we pay, only from your local Ford dealer.
He's Mayberry's sheriff without a gal.
Hello, doll.
Will Andy go a courting with Bachelorette number 1?
She's a real nice lady, boss.
Number 2?
Oh, that girl can do everything.
Or number 3?
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Play along in the game of love.
Just think, one of them might be the next Mrs. Andy Taylor.
On the Andy Griffith Show.
Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV, WJBF 6.2.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6. To get the weather, you need to see the whole picture. That's why Live Fiber 6 gives you the Skyview network. Get a live view of traffic and weather from all over the CSRA. Available online 24 hours a day at WJBF.com and the free Live Fiber 6 mobile app. The WJBF Live Fiber 6 Skyview network. Powered by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Get epic discounts up to 75% off. From electronics to home decor to everything in between. It's a new deal every week. Just scan the QR code or head to WJBF.com and click on Marketplace to start saving now. Get the latest video in one click at WJBF.com. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Fiber 6.
Let's take a look on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside of Television Park, where we see we have some fair weather clouds there in association with the frontal boundary that's coming our way and moisture coming from the coast. We've had an increase of clouds throughout the day, but still a bright, sunny day with warm temperatures. How about 84 degrees, our current temp, with winds coming from the southwest at 9 miles per hour. Yeah, it's been a toasty toasty little stretch for us, and that's the case throughout most of the southeast as we have 80 degrees in Charleston, 83 in Jacksonville, 86 in Montgomery. But then notice we kind of have a little bit of a difference here between the 80s in Birmingham and the 70s in Memphis and Little Rock. So no surprise there that is where our cold front is located, kind of dividing those warm and just slightly cooler temperatures behind it. And this is what we've been watching as it continues to push our way and will stall out all over our area by the middle of the week this week. So not only will we see rain chances returning to the forecast, but we're getting more moisture in the air, which is going to make it feel a little stickier going into the week ahead. So today, not too shabby, still in that comfy range, but notice by midweek with dew points in the 60s and even upper 60s by Thursday, not only is the air going to feel like those summertime temps, but we're going to get a little bit of that humidity feeling more and more like summertime. So speaking of the rising rain chances, here we go. So today, stay nice and dry, but tomorrow, late in the day, that's when we snap that dry streak as we have about a 20% chance late in the day on Tuesday, and then as we go into the middle of the week, those rain chances are on the rise. And then we have another frontal boundary that's coming through that could possibly pack more of a punch coming in for the weekend, continuing those rain chances then. So let's look at our future cast for the next 48 hours. So here we are, have a little bit of cloud cover continuing to pull into the area throughout the evening hours, but as that front comes closer, notice the showers and storms ahead of that front just to the west of us. So here we are Tuesday morning. We'll start to see some of those clouds sneak into our northern line counties, and by the afternoon hours, our northern counties could be seeing some of that rain and some of those storms, kind of like a typical afternoon pop-up storm. I keep saying summertime, but that's what this is all reminding us of, the summertime temps, the summertime afternoon storms. So not a widespread event for tomorrow, but certainly north of I-20 looking like the best chance of seeing some action Tuesday. Then Wednesday, kind of same thing. We start off with some clouds in the morning, and then in the heating of the afternoon, that's when we start to see more of those storms pop up there. This is not looking like it's going to be a severe event, just some much needed rain and some storms there in the afternoon. So lows tonight in the upper 50s to lower 60s, nice and mild yet again, and then another warm day on tap for tomorrow in the mid to upper 80s for us, and that temperature trend continues throughout the week, so kicking it above average. That is one thing that's staying consistent is our temperatures, and that continues into the end of the month and the 1st of May, looking like above average temps in the forecast. So your 10-day today looking good. Tomorrow's Earth Day, and we're going to get some much needed rain, especially for our northern line counties, and have that umbrella handy for the next several days. So we're talking a lot about summertime, so even though it's just April, this is a reminder that hurricane season is just around the corner. Meteorologist Miller Hyatt has more for the upcoming season.
Hi everyone, meteorologist Miller Hyatt here. The 2025 hurricane season begins June 1st and goes through November 30th. And with Hurricane Helene last year, it is very important for us to be prepared and stay informed. And unfortunately, this year looks like another active season. Colorado State has already released their initial forecast, and that shows an above average season with 17 named storms. The average number of named storms is 14, 9 hurricanes, which is above the average of 7, and 4 major hurricanes above the average of 3. NOAA is to be determined because they haven't released their forecast. That is released in May. So here are the key climate drivers this year. And just like last year, the Atlantic waters are running above average once again. And this is providing more fuel for storm development and rapid intensification, which we could once again see this hurricane season. Another thing that we look at is ENSO. You hear a lot about El Nino and La Nina. Well, El Nino is unlikely this year, and similar to last year, we're looking at either an ENSO neutral or a potential weak La Nina, and those mean we have a more favorable atmosphere with less wind shear, which can lead to rapid intensification and a lot of hurricanes and tropical storms. So I have a more detailed look at what we could be seeing this hurricane season on my blog, Beyond the Forecast. You can find that on WJBF.com.
Yeah, so it's hard to believe it's right around the corner, but
I don't like that. Don't like the another active season.
Yeah, well,
hate that forecast.
But we'll have you covered.
We'll see. All right, we'll be right back. Thank you, Sherry.
Years ago, I lost my
45.
Is rainy weather putting a damper on your day? Enter to win your very own live Viper 6 umbrella today. Visit WJBF.com and click on Contest. Then fill out the entry form for your chance to win.
Getting your hands on a live Viper 6 umbrella has never been easier.
That's right. Lucky winners will be announced weekdays on News Channel 6 at 6.
Who knows? It could be you.
Sponsored by Busby's Heating and Air. When quality matters, call Busby's. Trusted since 1945.
You truly are remarkable.
Join us for an unforgettable night celebrating America's most remarkable women. Hosted by Brooke Burke. Remarkable Women, Saturday, May 3rd at 7 p.m. on News Channel 6. Featuring WJBF's regional winner, Charlotte Garnes. Remarkable Women is sponsored by Goodwill of Middle Georgia and the CSRA.
A vacant church in the Netherlands will get a big transformation. It stopped holding services in 2023, but new plans will convert it into a public swimming pool. The project is nicknamed Holy Water and would feature an adjustable swimming pool floor that can be raised and lowered for swimmers of different ages and abilities. The floor can also be raised to hide the pool, and the space can be used for other activities. There's more coverage you can count on coming up at 4:30, including key fob cloning. The new technology thieves are using to steal your car. After the break.
Trusted team in local sports. Preview all of the weekend action and recap all of the big plays with Gianna Cephalou and Gabriel Stovall. 6 Sports Saturday, Saturday mornings at 9:30 on News Channel 6. The live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
Above average temperatures continue going into this week, but the change, we have rain chances returning to the forecast. I'll have all the details on what you can expect coming up.
Now at 4:30, the death of Pope Francis means a new leader must be chosen for the Catholic Church. We'll explain the secretive process. Plus, the South Carolina State Treasurer is having a hearing at the Senate today to determine if he'll be removed from the House. We have a preview. And an alert for car owners. Criminals have a new high-tech way to steal your vehicle, copying your key fob. We'll tell you how and what you can do to protect your car. Your news at 4:30 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with Catholics around the world in white smoke to signal to the world the election of a new pope. It signals a new pope has been elected to lead the world's Catholics, which number over And it's time now for a first look at our weather with meteorologist Sherry Sheely, and it was another beautiful day. And can I talk about, I know we passed the weekend, but it was amazing. Yesterday was absolutely awesome, and today mimicked it, actually.
Yes, we've had quite a nice stretch of just great weather, and that continued into today. In fact, starting off this morning, pretty much everywhere across the CSRA started with temps in the 60s, which is well above average. And even though we've had cloud cover today, kind of mix of sun and clouds, and that continues to filter in throughout the afternoon there for us. So even with that cloud cover, we've still warmed up nicely. How about current temps in the 80s, 85 degrees here in Augusta, 84 in McCormick, 83 in Waynesboro and Swainsboro alike. And speaking of Swainsboro, let's take a look there on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Sky View Cam, where you can see some of those clouds, but it's still bright and sunny there. But check out the stars and stripes and the trees in the background kind of waving there in the breeze. As in some places, it is getting a little bit breezy out there. Swainsboro, you've got winds at 5 miles per hour, Aiken up to 10 miles per hour, and Barnwell at 6. So yes, you have a nice little breeze there mixed in with those warm temperatures. And the breeze will continue throughout the next couple of hours. So we'll see winds starting to die down though once the sun goes down to more of just a light breeze at around 7 miles per hour. So over the next couple of hours, check out these temperatures staying in the 80s until after the sun goes down. And even by 9 o'clock, still 75 degrees. So certainly very warm out there, and the warm temperatures are not going anywhere. But what is changing? You're going to need an umbrella, and I'll tell you all the answers to all those questions coming up in your full forecast. Back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We will see you in a few minutes. And happening now, K-fob duplicating devices can be purchased online. They're meant to help people who have lost their car keys, but now thieves are using it to open the door and reprogram the ignition system. The entire process can take less than 3 minutes. Allison Cossack has more.
More police across the country are warning about a tool that lets thieves steal your cars in seconds without ever touching a key.
I watched somebody drive off with my car.
It's called a ProPad, a tool used by locksmiths, now being abused to clone key fobs and program new ones. Christina Rinaldi tells our Detroit station WXYZ she watched her own car being stolen from her driveway in the middle of the night.
I see a young male, smaller build, all in black, run from that Charger to my truck.
She says a Dodge Charger pulled up outside and a suspect ran straight to her SUV.
I'm like, hey, and I hear a male voice in the Charger like, let's go, let's go.
The thieves took off. Her vehicle was eventually recovered after a police chase, but was totaled. From Michigan to Georgia, New York to Texas, police are tracking thieves who've used ProPad-like devices. This locksmith in San Antonio showed our San Antonio station KSAT that a key fob copy can be made in just minutes.
Select the make, year, and model of the vehicle.
He says cars made in 2020 and older are more vulnerable.
Whether you're at the gym or your own home or, just running into the store, take everything out of your car, lock it up, put it in the garage, whatever you got to do.
Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Security experts say to reduce the risk of your key fob being duplicated, place your key holder in a metal meshed bag. It has a shielding material inside that will block electromagnetic signals. You can also use a physical lock on your steering wheel or deactivate the wireless setting so the door can't be opened remotely. Well, coming up, the fresh take on the vampire genre is wowing audiences all the way to the top of the box office. Your Hollywood highlights are next.
And in the days ahead, we'll continue to have some sun, some clouds, and definitely some warm temperatures, but we do have rain in the forecast. I'll have all the details on what you can expect coming up.
Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Piedmont Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6.
At Lionel Smith.
I'm hearing great things about centers. Everybody's saying it's wonderful, but I'm still scared to see it. No, go away. Sherry has your full forecast next.
WJBF weekdays at 3 on News Channel 6. The WJBF Live Viper 6 Skyview Network is sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Low prices, big selection, and committed to quality customer service. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. Let's take a look on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at Washington Road, where we've got some bright sunshine, but mixed in there with some clouds. So I guess we call that partly sunny conditions right now. But even with the cloud cover, it's still been a nice warm day. Right now we're at 84 degrees here in Augusta. Got a light breeze coming from the southwest at 9 miles per hour. Humidity at 43%, so a little more moisture in the air, but still not too shabby just yet. Looking across the nation at our temperatures, how about 84 in Raleigh? Same with us here in Augusta. 81 in Birmingham. A little bit cooler though as we head to the west with temperatures in the 70s in Oklahoma City and in Little Rock. And that's just about where a cold front is situated, making its way slowly but surely across the country and heading our way. So notice we've got a pretty thick layer of clouds there and some showers and storms just ahead of that front. And that's what we've been watching watching as it continues to move our way, and that's what's going to bring us some much needed rain for over the next several days this week. But right now, we're just dealing with a little bit of cloud cover for your Monday. So what's down the road? Well, starting tomorrow, that's when we're going to start to see rain return to the forecast late in the day, and it's going to be isolated, still staying warm with our temperatures. That's one thing that's not going to change. We're going to continue those above average temperatures in the week ahead, but notice the rain as we have that in the forecast starting late Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday, something we haven't seen in quite some time. In fact, our last day we had any measurable precipitation was April 11th. But look at this. We now have something to show you besides zeros for our rain chances. Tomorrow going with a 20% chance, but then on Wednesday and Thursday, those rain chances are on the rise as we pick up some much needed rain to make up for that deficit that we've had so far for the month of April. So much for those April showers, huh? So futurecast, we've got the wind coming in from the southwest, bringing in that warm, moist air. Notice clouds sticking around throughout most of the day on Tuesday. But then as we go later in the day Tuesday, as that front comes closer and starts to kind of pump the brakes there, we'll see some showers sneak into our northern line counties mainly. This is not going to be a widespread event. I think it's going to be mainly isolated north of I-20 for Tuesday. But then as we go into Wednesday, we'll start off the day pretty calm, but then in the afternoon when we get the heating of the day, kind of reminiscent of those typical summertime thunderstorms popping up. So here we are, 5 o'clock, and you can see it's just some cells popping up throughout the CSRA. Not expecting anything severe with these, mainly just bringing us some much needed rain and maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Lows tonight staying on the mild side in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Then tomorrow, another warm day, making it into the mid to upper 80s under partly to mostly cloudy skies. And again, those temperatures are consistent going into the week ahead, staying above average for the next 7 days, possibly even more than that. So tomorrow is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day for you. So it's going to be a nice day to get out there and do something for the earth, but then we got much needed rain returning to the forecast by the middle of the week. That's your forecast, and we'll be right back.
What's the proper way to eat a chocolate bunny? The National Confectioners Association asked that, and the overwhelming response was ears first, with 77%. 16% say the feet, 6% say the tail. We did our own informal poll in the newsroom, and the majority of our coworkers say they start with the ears. Yep, one person said the tail, and one person said the nose first. Oh. And our production manager, Lauren, says, quote, first you sneak up on the chocolate rabbit and chomp the ears before it hears you coming. Next, you nibble off the arm so it can't defend itself in the great chocolate battle. Then it's leg day. For you, not the bunny. Finally, you swoop back to the top like a desert ninja and devour the head and body in a dramatic chocolatey finale. Victory is sweet and melty. All right, Lauren. She's got a game plan. That's our time for now. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming up on News Channel 6 at 5, Pope Francis has died at the age of 88. We have more on his death and a local reaction coming up.
On WJBF News Channel 6, brought to you by Hickson Roofing. If your roof needs fixing, call Mr. Hickson.
I'm Austin Jackson, and for me, keeping it local really matters. If you've been injured, you need a law firm with experience in our area's courtrooms and a track record you can trust. If you've been injured, call Austin Jackson, the Augusta Guy, 706-724-7224.
6. Get clear, accurate stories that don't waste your time at WJBF.com.
I'm Austin Jackson, the Augusta Guy, and my team is proud to be the official injury lawyers of the Augusta Green Jackets. The Augusta Guy, supporting Augusta's team and all those who call the CSRA home. Call Austin Jackson, 706-724-7224.
Closed captioning on News Channel 6 is sponsored by Hearing Associates of South Carolina.
It's feeling like summertime this week with very warm days, and the rain chances are finally returning. Starting tomorrow, we'll see a few showers and storms. I'll break down all the details coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 5, say goodbye to Pope Francis. We'll hear from local members of the Catholic Church about what comes next, as your News at 5 starts now.
Live from television park. This is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. Brad's off tonight. Coverage you can count on begins with the death of